It is game week, and 49ers football is back, kicking off the season on Sunday against the Detroit Lions. I think the Niners are going to be victorious in this matchup, and coming up, we're going to do a little week one preview. But first, shout out to today's sponsor, Magic Spoon, for making today's show possible. This is cereal that is both delicious and healthy. We'll tell you a little bit more about it coming up, but first, you can get $5 off your checkout when you go to magicspoon.com/49ers report. That link is in the description and the comment section of this video. 49ers hitting the road to kick off the 2021 NFL season against the Detroit Lions on Sunday. We're going to be doing a watch party for it right here on the 49ers Report. Make sure you subscribe and join us. We'll be drinking beers, breaking down the game all throughout Sunday. Niners going into this matchup as 7-point favorites. That's the biggest number for favorites across the entire National Football League in the opening slate. The over-under for this game set at 45.5. So moving off of that, this is what I want you to do right now. Get into the comment section, Niner gang, and predict the score for Sunday's game between San Francisco and Detroit. I think the Niners are going to run away with this victory. Coming up later on today's show, I'll give you my prediction, but get your score predictions in the comment section right now. Coming up, I'm going to explain why I think the Niners are going to absolutely pummel the Detroit Lions. They're going to annihilate them, and this game isn't even going to be close, and the Niners, with ease, are going to move to 1-0 on the 2021 NFL season. I want to start off with this, because one of the big moves that happened in the NFL offseason was Jared Goff being traded from the division rival Los Angeles Rams to the Detroit Lions. And throughout Goff's career, he has not fared well against San Francisco at all, especially his last 4 games. Over his last 4 games against your Niners, he is 0-4, completion percentage well below league average at 56%. His average yards per attempt is a dreadful 5.7, and his touchdown to turnover ratio 4-6. Not good at all. And not only does Jared Goff have an anemic offensive line protecting him, but this Niners defensive line is one of the best and deepest across the entire National Football League. Nick Bosa is expected to be back. Dee Ford is expected to be back, even though he'll be on a pitch count. I think this Niners defensive front is 8 to 10 guys deep, and they're going to be rotating guys in and out of the lineup all throughout Sunday, and all of them are going to be wreaking havoc, attacking Jared Goff. Eric Armstead, Javon Kinlaw, DJ Jones, Nick Bosa, Dee Ford, Kentavious Street, Kevin Givens, Zach Kerr, Samson Ebukam, Arden Key. I expect all of these guys to get snaps and be impact players. I talk about that Lions offensive line. I'll tell you this, it is not good. And what does Jared Goff need? Protection, because he's not a mobile quarterback. He doesn't have the escapability of a Trey Lance. He is a pure pocket passer. Unfortunately for him, he has Taylor Decker, Jonah Jackson, Frank Ragnow, who's actually pretty solid, Halapoulivaati Vaitai, and Penei Sewell, the rookie out of Oregon, protecting him. Sewell had a disastrous preseason, and I think what DeMeco Ryans is going to flirt with is interchanging his edge rushers to go up against Sewell to see how he can fare against the likes of a Nick Bosa or a Dee Ford. So moving off of that, I think this Niners defensive line is going to eat up on Sunday against the Lions. I think they're going to be able to generate consistent pressure against that porous offensive line. Jared Goff isn't going to have a lot of time to throw, and that should lead to inaccuracy. That should lead to turnovers, and it should lead to Jared Goff having yet another game against your Niners, because as I mentioned, his last 4 have not been good against San Francisco. There's also this. Jared Goff was successful in Los Angeles because he had one of the brightest offensive minds as his head coach in Sean McVay. McVay was able to consistently scheme guys wide open for Goff. Anthony Lynn, his offensive coordinator now, ain't doing that. Dan Campbell is talking about biting other players' kneecaps off. He doesn't have the offensive acumen of a Sean McVay. So because of that, I think Jared Goff is going to struggle, not just in this game, but all throughout the 2021 NFL season. Speaking of eating up, Niners defensive line is going to eat up against this Lions offensive line come Sunday. And if you want to eat up with some Magic Spoon cereal, you can get $5 off your checkout by going to magicspoon.com/49ers report. This cereal has honestly changed my life, because back a few years ago when I was in college and fresh out, I would crush some bowls of cereal late at night. And All those traditional brands are loaded with sugar, loaded with carbs, and awful ingredients. What Magic Spoon has done is take the polar opposite approach. Per serving, you get 13 grams of protein, 0 grams of sugar, and only 4 grams of net carbs. And each bowl of cereal that you take down is less than 200 calories. And all of the flavors from Magic Spoon are guaranteed to rock your taste buds. So one more time, go to magicspoon.com/49ers report. And when you enter that link at your checkout, you'll be able to get $5 off. It's high in protein, keto-friendly, gluten-free. The logos on the box are straight up fantastic, naturally flavored, totally delicious, and it's childlike cereal for grown-ups. That link is in the description of this video. Let's continue to do a 49ers-Lions preview. This Lions receiving core, it's one of the worst in the NFL. Tyrell Williams is their number one wide receiver. Amon-Ra St. Brown, I liked him coming out of USC. He was a 4th-round pick. I do not like him as your second wide receiver. Khalif Raymond, Quentin Cephas, Kaderil Hodge, your other wide receivers on this Lions roster, they are so thin, so bereft of top-end elite talent, which paves the way for this defensive backfield to have a really solid day. And it's a defensive backfield that is somewhat thin in terms of depth. They're dealing with some injury issues in this secondary as well. Luckily for the Niners, that shouldn't be a problem come Sunday. I expect Emmanuel Mosley, K'Wan Williams, Jimmy Ward, Jaquiski Tartt, and Jason Verrett to play. Could we possibly see Josh Norman, after getting signed on Sunday, appear in this game? If that's the case, hopefully it's in limited snaps, but this defensive backfield should be able to succeed against what is honestly one of the worst receiving cores in the NFL. How many points do you think the Niners are going to give up on Sunday against the Lions? Leave me a number in the comment section down below. I think it's going to be low. I think the Lions are going to be lucky to get into the double-digit figure because I think this Niners defense has the propensity of being one of the best in the NFL this upcoming season, and they should have absolutely zero issues against this Detroit Lions offense. Another reminder for you, 49ers versus Lions watch party coming at you 12:45 p.m. Eastern, 9:45 a.m. Pacific on Sunday. Live play-by-play. I'll be taking your questions throughout. We'll crush some beers as well. So for those of you on the West Coast, for those of you anywhere in the world, wake up with us. Let's talk some Niners football on Sunday. Dan Campbell versus Kyle Shanahan. This is the all-time coaching mismatch. On Dan Campbell's side, in his opening press conference for Detroit, he's talking about biting other players' kneecaps off and being a cannibal. And for Kyle Shanahan, he's one of the brightest offensive minds that the National Football League has seen in recent years. So the clear coaching edge goes to Kyle Shanahan. He was an offensive coordinator in a Super Bowl. He coached the Niners to the Super Bowl back in 2019. What has Dan Campbell done? And it's going to be his first game as a head coach. Kyle Shanahan should run laps around Dan Campbell. Notable Lions defenders who this Niners offense is going to go up against. They have some decent talent on the defensive side of the ball, which is the opposite of what they're trotting out there offensively. Michael Brockers can still play. Jamie Collins is solid. Trey Flowers is above average at this point of his career, even though he's been playing for a long time. Jeff Okudah, the top 10 pick out of Ohio State last year, was not a good defensive back last year. The Lions are hoping that he can rebound this year. I expect Kyle Shanahan to pinpoint him and try to exploit a mismatch there on the outside attacking Okudah. And there's also this with Kyle Shanahan. For all opposing defensive coordinators and teams coming up this season, I think Kyle Shanahan, it's totally realistic that he is going to run a true two-quarterback system. You saw it in spurts in that preseason finale against the Las Vegas Raiders when Jimmy Garappolo started the game. And then once the Niners offense got close to the red zone, he put in Trey Lance to bring in that dual threat option to diversify this offense and to make it less predictable. You're looking at a Lions defense now that has absolutely no idea what Kyle Shanahan is going to do with possibly a 2-quarterback system, which also the edge there goes with this Niners offense. Some Niners players to watch against the Lions on Sunday. I have a list of 5 guys. I want to see how Jimmy Garappolo fares. He didn't do much to distance himself from Trey Lance in this quarterback competition. I also want to see how much Trey Lance is going to play. If he gets 20 to 30 snaps, that's pretty incredible because there really hasn't been a true 2-quarterback system in decades in the NFL. I want to see how Alex Mack debuts as a center on this Niners roster. Nick Bosa coming off that torn ACL. Is he going to look explosive? Is he going to look spry? Is he going to look better than he did pre-injury, which is what Trent Williams said? And Dee Ford has said, I'm going to be on a pitch count, but coming off of neck and back injuries, is Dee Ford going to be able to be an impact player coming off the edge, getting after Jared Goff? Speaking of Dee Ford, this is what he had to say about his return. He expects to get run. He expects to get tick. He expects to play. He said this, like with any injury, we're going to start on a pitch count. That's standard for any injury. But my role is to do what they brought me here to do. Make big plays, so that's what I'm going to do. And he's going to have an opportunity to do that against a weak Lions offensive line. So I just mentioned 5 guys who I'm excited to see on Sunday against the Lions. Who are you most excited to see? Drop a name in the comment section down below. It could be George Kittle. It could be Fred Warner. Now that he's one of the highest paid linebackers in the NFL, let me know in the comment section down below. Prediction time from me. I talk about the Niners dominating this game. They have the edge in offense, defense, special teams. I think the Niners are victorious. They kick off the season with a win, and they do it in dominant fashion. My final prediction, 31-14.